What's up, Guardians? Welcome to another Destiny gameplay video. In this video I'm going to be talking about the use of fusion rifles. Now this is something that's kind of become a little bit more rare in the Crucible since the latest changes to the Crucible several months ago. Now fusion rifles have kind of been alienated out of the Crucible and out of most people's arsenals since those latest changes, and there's a few good reasons why. They were the recipients of a pretty sizable nerf. We'll talk about that a bit in the video. Now in the video you're going to be seeing me use the Plan C. Now just for argument's sake, in the video this Plan C is completely vanilla. There's nothing special about it. It's not leveled up or anything. No skills unlocked. So this is just a vanilla fusion rifle. So I'm just trying to showcase how you can use these effectively. And I'm not using, one of the fusion rifles right now that's out there in the Crucible that's known as being pretty stinking good, relatively speaking, is the give-take equation, based on some of the ways that you can roll it to have some incredible range on it. And there are some other fusion rifles that can also kind of hold their own. The Final Rest is well known and well used, as well as the Plug 1. These are some fusion rifles that people have really grown to appreciate. But I'm just going to use this vanilla Plan C in this video and just showcase how a fusion rifle can be used effectively even without all of those range bonuses and charge rate bonuses and all that business. Now first and foremost, the one thing that really trips people up when using fusion rifles is that they use them like the rest of the weapons in the Crucible. They use them as though they have hit scan, when in fact they do not. These are not hit scan weapons. In other words, they have travel time. So what you're going to need to do for one of the ways I recommend you use these things is use your vertical space. I know that's something I say a lot, but you'll see here, jumping up over corners to get the drop on people, because a lot of people are running around with shotguns that can insta-kill you from pretty significant range. So when you come up and high over their firing lines like this, and they have to adjust, it gives you the time that you need to kind of get the drop on them and get the kill first. So you're going to see a lot in this video. I'm using my vertical space quite a bit to get up and over people's firing lines to try and catch them off guard, because that split second that they need to get kind of do their target acquisition and reposition their sights, that could be just the advantage that you need to get that kill first. Now, because these are, they're not hit scan, they have travel time, these projectiles on your fusion rifle. Because of that, you're going to need to learn how to lead your shots. In other words, you're going to want to fire your weapon. And this can be difficult depending on aim assist values. It's going to want to try and pull your sights, although fusion rifles have very little aim assist, relatively speaking. But one of the things you're going to want to be aware of is that you need to discharge the weapon about where you think the target is going to be in a split second. In a fraction of a second, where do you anticipate that they'll be? Here's the time I spawned right beside a guy in Rumble, and we kind of turned and looked at each other like, ah! Rumble's kind of messed up with the spawns, especially on these small maps. It's pretty confusing. But anyways, you're going to need to anticipate where the target is going to be. So you'll see a lot of times I'm a little off center when I fire the weapon, because I'm firing in the direction that they're moving, not where they actually are that split second. So that's one thing you're going to need to be able to do, anticipate enemy movement. If that's not something that you're good at, if you're more just a point and shoot person, then you may find fusion rifles pretty difficult to use and difficult to be successful with. I do like how much ammo you can carry for fusion rifles relative to shotguns and sniper rifles. You can end up with a pretty sizable amount of ammunition for your fusion rifle as you run around the map. And I use it best in conjunction with everything else in the arsenal. So a lot of times I'm priming targets with grenades and then switching to the fusion rifle to finish them off. But you're going to want to be mindful of everything that you have available to you, and not just run around with your fusion rifle out. This isn't like the days of the Pocket Infinity, right, where people could just run around with Pocket Infinity out and pretty much use it as a primary and top leaderboards, game after game. Because that used to be a thing. In fact, Pocket Infinity is still a banned weapon among competitive gamers when they do scrimmages and sweaties. it incurred that much hate early on in the game, and rightfully so. That gun was broken. So, but anyways, it's since been nerfed along with all the rest of the fusion rifles, and the reason why people are struggling to use them right now is because what they ended up doing with fusion rifles is making it so that the spread on the projectiles that you fire from a fusion rifle are much more likely to be spread out and and not really hit center mass anymore. So it's difficult to land all those projectiles or enough to get an insta-kill on a target unless you're right up on top of them. And the problem with that is that, in my opinion, and in the opinions of several other people, what they ended up doing is making fusion rifles a really close quarters weapon, and then in turn, when they introduced re-rolling, what they did is they greatly increased the effective range of shotguns, so that shotguns can now one-hit kill more consistently than fusion rifles. And you can take that to the bank. That is a fact. Shotguns right now in this meta are much more likely to insta-kill someone at the exact same range than a fusion rifle is, pretty consistently. So that's the problem. But fusion rifles, if you want to mix things up, can still be used effectively. You just have to remember that they're not hit scan. The projectiles have travel time, so you want to anticipate the enemy's movements and make adjustments accordingly. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Use your vertical space. If you want to mix it up and use a fusion rifle in the Crucible, make sure you're jumping around corners to get the drop on your opponents. And we'll catch you next time.